Hi, Hayden.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, thanks, mate.
It's good. Good to hear. How are we looking today?
Frustrated after I got that magic keys didn't work and seeing what Jim and 30 did, Jim and 40 did yesterday.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. What a day.
Yeah, crazy.
Morning, guys.
Good morning, Sarah. How are you?
What was there?
Good, thank you.
All right, so already pound Aussie overnight. Went ballistic on us. And just another 50 pip move. Crazy. We had some wild moves with yen pairs as well. Look at this craziness, man. Like,
Wasn't there yen news?
yeah. 460 pips. That's why I was a little bit nervous last night. Dude, I didn't want to put any ideas up. Cause like, do you see all the charts? Let me go to Forex Factory. I knew they did say they were going to be meeting on the last couple of days. So then they released their BOJ outlook report and their monetary statement and then their policy rate, which they kept the same. But they initially were quite hawkish and then they did nothing. But then they made comments what they might do. So it just led to real whipsaw. Then we had, core CPI came out better than expected. So just, you couldn't do nothing in terms of like ideas overnight, because when they released their initial comments, like this is a 30-minute chart. This is at 6 p.m. my time, UK time, last night. Where's my pen? Oh, Glenn, it's
I've got it, mate. It's all good.
Oh, okay. When they released their news here, everything just dropped, and then went up the CPI, and then down with their comments. We look at all the charts pretty much. Like, how can we realistically look for some of the Emmerbot ideas? I was confident with the just taking trades. That was no problem. But in terms of Emmerbot, there's not much we could do here when everything's looking like this, Just so much imbalance left behind. Everything's just looking real massive moves. So I didn't want to get behind that. So the one thing that I was really confident with is pound Aussie buys, because we're in beautiful uptrend fundamentally and technically. Had a nice big bullish candle, little correction yesterday. This correction from yesterday gave us plenty of opportunity to be getting into buys. Had hours and hours to get into buys. So I got mine, let it run, price pushed up. It was up like 100 pips. Closed a good portion, just left it. Price came down, and I was like, oh, that kind of surprised me, but that was an opportunity to get back in, add more position to it. I think, Sarah, you got in, say, around here somewhere.
Yeah, I wish I'd stayed in with a runner actually, but
Yeah, so
shoulda, coulda, woulda.
yeah, that's right. 192 was my target, so that closed during overnight. Now we're going, but I think we had a lot more to go. It's just that was like nearly a 200 pip move. So,
Yeah, I think I closed a similar position to you.
Good one. So, then German last night, man. Yeah, yesterday, sorry.
Yeah.
Ivan was joking when we were like all-time high. I was like, yeah, I don't think so today, but it could.
Yeah, it hit my TP. I left my runner.
Yeah. As a joke, I was leaving it to 16,500, but I saw it up here and I closed.
Yeah.
Um,
Kept those three running actually. That would have been nice.
So with interest rates going up and up and up and up, the stock market is doing the same thing. So I do wonder. We don't hang at all-time highs for long. So I reckon this one could do a big push up, but then I think I don't think I can sustain here for long, especially after a move like yesterday. I mean, we did grab liquidity, quite a bit of liquidity in this push down, and this here really surprised me. This is one that I did not expect. And a bloody, like, I tried to take buys in this rundown, and it stung me twice, and that annoyed me. Then I finally got those buys, and I saw this on all pairs which had interest rate decisions this week, right? That before the news, you had like just a heavy drop into a big recovery. So that was Euro. We saw the same thing with US, but this is the opposite because this is gold. But when the US put the FOMC, they had not identical, but when FOMC, this is the 7 o'clock Wednesday, so this is FOMC time, and we had a run up before then an almighty drop the next day. I know someone that was looking to sell German 40 because we're at this weekly resistance area, and it's such a bullish trend. One question I asked Greg was, if you make all-time high or low, how do you predict how far it goes apart from guessing psychological numbers? Oh, okay. Well, if it closes higher, then 8 times out of 10 is just that will be the new resistance. 8 times out of 10 it should retest that high at some stage. So whilst it's still making supports and then pushing up, until we start making lower highs and breaking these supports, leaving resistances behind, starting to break second structure, then we know we can go into a bigger retracement. Until then, just structure 1, structure 2. And psychological numbers, it's not going to, usually it doesn't push up too much higher before it has a correction, usually, from what I've seen. But yeah, because when you look to the left now, you've got nothing to guide you by. So I look to see if it made a wick. If it made a wick, then it could do a partial wick fill. If it's closed higher, then it should retest the high. All right, so I don't think we're going to get the same sort of move as yesterday. So I'm you've got to put that behind us. Just like if it was a loss, we'd have to put that behind us. I'll have to shift this bloody. Now I've got a new all-time high. Okay, let's have a look at the time frames. So I actually wouldn't be surprised if we can fill some of this gap that we left, but I don't think it's going to do it easy. I think it's going to be a late move. It might be a buy to sell, actually, and it might stall so long, letting buyers get in, and then do a sweep. That's what I'm kind of thinking. So I might actually draw a little pathway. Let's see if we can. I don't want to jinx the run that we've been having this week. This week's been like, I think we have to be close to 1,000 pips this week. With pound Aussie is 200. German yesterday was 300. The day before we had, no, not the day before, maybe the day before that one, we had German 50, which ended up being like nearly 120, and gold for 50. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to jinx it. So let's see if we can train this like our little ladybug. Okay. Like that. Oh, German GDP in an hour, is it? I saw somewhere that it said all day. Yeah, all day. I didn't actually get that time. Oh wait, that's CPI, sorry. German GDP. Why can't I see it? You mean Eurozone? Yeah, it's not even on here. Strange.
German CPI.
No, here it is.
Right.
Euro. Oh wait, yeah, German GDP
French GDP.
in 2 minutes. What time frame is this? That's saying it's 7 o'clock. So this is, yeah, no, it's not quite the right time. So London +1 on AM for now. Alan's right. German GDP at 9 o'clock.
That's not on Forex Factory, is it?
No, not Forex Factory. Forex Factory's been incorrect a couple times now. I'm gonna have to probably ditch it. Oh, on MyFX book and SC2, and on investing.com. Yeah. Does that answer your question, Maron? About like how high it's gonna go? No one really knows. It's just you sort of just look at price action. There's always gonna be profit taking in this empty space up here. Cool. Alrighty. So 40 seconds. Did it just take that high? It did, didn't it? So that's higher. This is higher just than that one. So let's see where this open goes. 4 hour is looking like it just took the high. So I wonder if this could be like a negation. 2 hours still looking very strong. Good morning, Vassal. What's my bias today? I'm thinking sells. I'm thinking sells after yesterday. Because it still doesn't make sense to me why it's going, why it is so bullish. Like it doesn't actually make sense. If they're talking about slow growth and restrictive numbers and interest rates going so high, it's got to affect spending. But the market's got other plans. But this is my plan, right? I'm actually thinking we're going up first, perhaps then to do a sweep of these highs, lock people in, probably hesitate a lot, let people really get in, and then start to look down, push down. Yeah, good point. Even when I was looking at Forex Factory earlier, wasn't even considering German GDP, but now that is on the cards. So if that's bad, then that would have to weigh down this. But the thing,
German GDP on your site, sorry, mate.
Yeah, on mine, and oh my god, someone's at the door. So on my side, and it's on here for in an hour's time. So what I'm thinking, so the thing that's tricky here to navigate is bad numbers is bad for the stock market. You would think bad GDP, bad growth forecast, but bad growth forecast is good for business in terms of future interest rate decisions. So bad numbers is positive for interest rate pausing, which it will be which is, so bad numbers is good for future interest rate pause argument, which is bullish for German 40, and bad numbers, GDP, is bad for German 40 in terms of growth. Does that make sense? So it's very conflicting. Anyway, we have, this is now the open. So I'm actually not really expecting much of a move, and it's Friday, so don't jump in to anything unless you're pretty confident with it, unless you're sitting really well for the week, and unless you get the right confirmations. Today's not the day to try and make up losses. Let me put it that way. You don't want to ruin your weekend. I hate having a loss on a Friday and just stewing on it. So I took the euro low. Let's see if it can actually get a 1 minute candle body, close under that level, and then start to really push down. $15-minute HCS up the top as well. So our candle closed as a negation. Is it negation? I don't think it's negation yet, because never, this candle wasn't nothing. 30-minute, I think it was. No, forget that. Anyway, 15-minute has made. You're using that bullish candle, aren't you, Ivan? You're talking about that. Now we're sort of breaking these lows. We need a candle body to close underneath there. Even if it's like a minute candle. Close under there, under the this yellow section. Just get something to close under. Come on. Drop. Yeah, see the narrative. What's the narrative? Which is gonna hold most weight? Really tricky, like having two conflicting factors. It's a real mess of the head when the same result is bullish and bearish. You just got to see which one actually holds more weight. Hey Gagan, how are you?
Good, Hayden. How are you?
Excellent.
You guys are looking for buy?
No, I'm actually looking for sells. I'm aware of the buys though. Cause you're seeing this thing, aren't you? This pathway. The pathway. I'm being suspicious if there's a sweep, and then it breaks down.
Okay.
So we've got German GDP numbers to come out in an hour. So that could affect things. So I'm actually thinking that this could go up first. Or this is going to be a fake out.
Yeah.
We need a 1 minute candle body at least to close below here before we can see any more downside.
Yep.
But I wouldn't want to be jumping into buys, that's for sure. Terry, there's a 4-hour bullish FU, so higher time frame is up. Yep, maybe a retest of the zone, then up, take all-time high, then is that finished? Then from, I think you meant from down then. So the 4-hour candle, we're seeing that this 4-hour candle was bullish and an FU candle, and we took that little doji low. we have a doji up here that we could take again. Take that high. Now the thing is that this 4-hour candle was formed during the Asian session. So this could be a bit of a trap, and we could anticipate that if this candle potentially negates this previous one. And then if this is forming an FU candle, engulfing candle, liquidity candle, whatever we want to call it, and closing lower, breaking this low, then we'd have to say that taking that all-time high with an engulfing candle, with clean candles to the left, with another liquidity wick over here, that would have to see further downside. And given we've been so bullish this whole week, minus this liquidity grab, which then funded the move to go up, I'd have to say that we're going to potentially correct, because lifting interest rates isn't meant to be bullish. It isn't meant to be bullish. It's meant to have a negative effect. We can see what it's, yeah. The euro should be getting stronger, but they were dovish in their statements, becoming data dependent. As soon as it became data dependent, any sort of negative news actually adds weight to the hiking's done. So that actually is a bullish driver for this. But I wouldn't be surprised if how can we be at all-time highs when Eurozone's at highest interest rates as well? It's gonna struggle for businesses to maintain earnings, maintain jobs, maintain orders, and that's gonna have to then, apart from the initial drive for this interest rate, for this initial drive for this to be pushing up and up and up, it's going to have to fade out, and reality sets in that we're not going to be making much growth for the next couple years. And how do you think this price is actually set up? This price is set up based on the individual pieces of the 40 companies inside that make up the price of this, based on earnings. Yeah, sorry, then drop from there. But yeah, okay. But you're saying the hour, 4 hour from Asian.
Yeah, you're saying the 4-hour FU started from Asian, so it's not necessarily, because actually I just put in the chat that the 1-hour FU bearish, so he's saying continuation lower. But my question was, is the 4-hour, well, it's a high time frame, so
yeah, you're thinking 4 hour is greater than 1 hour. But the 4 hour was made of Asian session, and the 1 hour was made of European session.
Yeah. So then it's stronger.
The 1 hour potentially is stronger.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And if the
super nuanced.
If the 4 hour, just because of this one candle, which could be a little bit of a liquidity fake out, get people interested. How many times this week did I go back and show that Asian session usually made the liquidity for a move, and that 1 hour liquidity candle took the high of Asian session by 0.2 of a pip, but nonetheless it took the high of Asian session and rejected it. Now we've formed a top wick, broken the low. Now we're starting to get candles closed below it. This candle now, what we want, to avoid this being a fake out, we want the next candle to not close back inside. If it closes back inside, yeah, this could be train tracks, fake out, liquidity candle, whatever we want to call it. But if this is actually staying outside, closing underneath, got 3 minutes, 45 seconds. If it stays out underneath, it could then push up, and this could just be a friendly pullback, and then we can push down again. But we really want to see this candle stay out. We don't want to see this close back inside this European low.
Yeah, H1, M30, M15, all looking good for sales.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So the sell opportunity was pretty much at the market here.
Yeah.
That was when it pulled back, came up, back up to fill this imbalance. Bearish candle, breaking the low. That was a potential entry. Very early though. But you got to put weight on your side. Is that getting in from here? Where's got more room to go? To me, it's got much more room to go to the downside than it is to the upside. Just got to be careful of the manipulation that's in the market. Okay, come on, stay under. Silly thing. How was your week, Gagan?
Yeah, it was alright. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. Yeah, yeah. What about you guys?
Had an excellent week. Very good week.
Yeah.
How did you go with
That's
GJ?
right.
There was some crazy moves.
You know, yesterday I wanted to because I saw that daily resistance, and first it broke one side, and then it was breaking the other side, and I wanted to have it at daily instead of lower time frame and have my stop loss above the high. But by the time I saw it, it was too late,
Right.
and I was waiting for that move for 3 hours. But anyways,
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys get anything from the sell for gold yesterday?
Yes. Only a little bit, actually. I didn't stream. I had my hands full we finally exchanged contracts for the place we're buying, and the solicitors just threw me so much crap yesterday that I had to go through. So I didn't really. I was very distracted. But
were you buying Sydney or UK?
UK.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, but I don't want to get into too much, but they just didn't seem to do. I felt like they just didn't do any work, and I don't think I had a good solicitor. I thought he had good attention to detail, and then I realized that their solicitors are very difficult to deal with, and they speak in their own little language. So I got in for a sell. Got in for a sell. 64. I'm gonna say under here. This is where I got in for the sell. No, it was underneath. It was underneath here. I think it must have been, no, I think it was 54 actually, 54.
Wow.
I got in from here to hold the sells, but I missed all of this move. Yeah, the house is sorted now, but you know what they tried to do in the last, he's like, so just to confirm, so that are you paying the standard rate or the higher rate of stamp duty? I'm like, what are you talking about? Is there a higher rate of stamp duty than the one I'm already paying? And he said, yeah, the higher rate's going to be this much, which is like another £5,000 more.
Oh my.
I was like, what are you
And why
talking
is that?
Oh, I said, what are you talking about? Shouldn't this have been brought up ages ago? You've actually sent me a draft completion statement, and it had all the fees, and now literally minutes before we were going to exchange, asked me to confirm if I'm happy to pay an extra £5,000 in stamp duty. And then he gave me the wrong number to call the HMRC to confirm. Gave me the IT helpline instead of the stamp duty helpline. And they're unhelpful as well. They're not going to calculate it for you. Yeah, but this is a second property. So
Nice.
I've got to pay 3%, but then he's misquoted the value, and he's trying to charge me 5%. I was like, you're my solicitor. I'm surprised that you didn't know this. And then he apologized and said, no, it is this original amount. So you're happy to proceed. But it wasted half an hour of my time on hold on phones and stuff, and distracted when gold's moving.
But lucky it's still sorted, you know.
It's
At
sorted.
least you saved 5,000 there, you know. Like if you were going to make it here, and so at least it worked out well.
Yeah. But the whole
Which is very.
the whole process, very complicated over here, and it's going to end up compare in Aussie dollars. To buy a place is costing nearly $4,000 just in legal fees.
Wow.
Just in legal fees.
But you know what? Just here as well, for exchange of the contracts and solicitor charge about close to 3,000 without any complications. Just to go through the contract, even though it's a standard one, and when they look at the housing things.
Oh, that's a lot, because my friend just sold a place, and for him it was around 1,500.
Wow.
And that was in Sydney.
Nice.
Pulled
Nice.
back
Maybe
to
the one
half.
that we have.
Pulled back to halfway.
It would have been cheaper to buy an expensive lawyer who did their job properly and then sell gold.
Yeah, yeah. But the thing is, I got all these quotes, and there were some real cheap ones. And so I thought, what I'll do is, I don't want to get the most expensive. I don't want to get cheap, so I'll go somewhere in the middle. And these guys are a little bit higher than the average. But I called them, I spoke to them, they said there was going to be no delays. Well, not from their side, they'll be really active, there's a portal. And the fees have doubled, literally doubled of their initial quote. And then fees for like, if the building's over 5 stories now, since that Grenfell fire, they'll just chuck on an extra £1,500, even though I've got to sign a waiver for them to say they're not going to do anything about it, that they don't want to advise on it. So I questioned it, and I questioned it because it was like a random £500 charge. I was like, you're not doing anything on this. And they said, yeah, but normally we charge $1,500, so we've reduced it to $500 for you. So I said, why exactly? Why am I paying this £500? Oh, Shaji, how are you, mate? Yeah, I asked why exactly you're charging this £500, and they said because we have to we're taking on this property settlement exchange. You've instructed us to work on it. Our indemnity insurance goes up, so it's to cover our indemnity insurance. Like, man, these guys, and I had paperwork that I didn't want to post because I wanted to make sure that they got it, so I drove and handed it to them. And I've got to go around, like they had like Porsches out the front and Jaguars on, like those electric Jaguars on charge. I was like, this is where my money's going.
Yeah, but lucky it's all sorted at the end.
Oh yeah. It's been 3 months. 3 months trying to get it sorted.
Wow. Yeah.
And the Sarah's nearly due, so we wanted to make sure we move in, so that we got a place settled before the baby's here.
Yeah.
Shaji, how are you, buddy? It's good to see you here.
Apart from all the headaches, it's good to hear you've got it sorted, Hayden.
Oh yeah, it's just another job done.
Yeah, good stuff.
So how often do we, I'm worried about this candle, there's been one candle closing outside of it and then pulling back up, but how many times as well do we see that price will break out of the euro hour open, retrace 50% and give a rejection? So if we're pushing underneath there, we're going downtown. Oh yeah, sure thing, Shaji. You can jump into the there should be, see the little Discord thing up the top? Jump into that. And on the website there's a contact form, or I think YouTube should direct me, go straight to my email address as well. If you email me your email address, then I'll have it. Yeah, be careful of this push up. I don't want to entertain the buyers for too long. Because my bias is overall bearish, but I'm seeing if it can actually, seeing if it can follow this kind of pathway. I'll be pretty surprised if it actually does that. Let's say it takes the NY high. Aussie yen is really tanked. Pound Aussie going for 193. Gold doing nothing. Everything's in the indices and yen. Oh, and pound. Pound Aussie's going well. Anyone in anything right now?
Nope, not me. I'm just looking to start driving. I was hoping like if the German gives any setup before I put a trade and
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing nothing yet.
Yeah.
I was looking at the US 30, but again, it looks like it wants to break out and fill some of that candle. But that was insane. That drive down yesterday.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's 500 pips all but.
Jesus. From 6 o'clock as well.
Like,
That yen news.
ridiculous.
Yeah. I was at the movies and I started walking to the movies 6 o'clock. 6:05. And literally the phone away. I was absolutely shocked when I got out. I thought I just hadn't updated the phone because like I saw these numbers that I just hadn't seen for ages.
Well, even the Asian session today was like 165 pips.
Yeah, Asian's been good lately.
But that's insane.
Looks like the move's going to start once Merrin's gone. We're just waiting for Merrin to start his clinic at 9. And then yeah, I don't think German's going to do much until, like, at least it's going to have to wait for that. It could just be a bit of whipsaw because we do have that news at 9 o'clock that we can't forget about. 35 minutes time. Alan, GU, some space for GU to correct. Oh yeah, indeed. So US dollar got a lot of strength yesterday. We've got this triple wick area. You can see how long it's been since I've actually done something here. Let me put in some monthly levels. These lines are very thick. Look at GU for a bit. Yeah, I saw it, Shaji. Cheers. So the email just pop up. I'll get it sorted after.
$30-minute on Germans looking very bullish.
Okay, so monthly. Lock all those in. Weekly. See. Daily. Low imbalance. If we can close above here, I'd be keen for some buys. If we can close above. Especially if we can close inside of this structure. Then we can push up to here. For sells, I'm concerned about this area being a bit choppy. After this news though, if we can get like another retest, like this candle has done a little partial retest of here, picked up liquidity. We've got this one to deal with. But if we can get a second rejection, then I think this support could break. If this is going to hold, then I'll be looking for buys above this zone. Um, 1 minute. Which are you talking about, Ivan? For German. Let's go back, let's see. So, over here, this is what you're looking at, isn't it? You enter the sell here, or when it flipped. 1 or 2? 1, cool. Yeah, I'm not entering anything yet myself. $30-minute just closed. So tomorrow, study session, we're going to cover some of these patterns, the price action around it. Sorry, let me redraw that. This one, I've seen a bit of this week. We'll cover this, we'll cover zones. We'll cover the trades that we took as well. Cover fundamentals. Might be a little bit of a longer one, but I'll try to keep it short because I'm mindful that when people watch it over, there's a lot that takes ages.
Are you doing it at 9 o'clock, Hayden?
Yeah. 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Cool.
UK time, that is. It'll be recorded as well, of course, as always. Okay, so we've still got Asian low that's in play. I don't think a whole lot's going to happen until this news comes out. Gold's starting to drop a bit. You've got a nice little, a lot of rejections here. Are you talking about gold, Vassal, or German 40? Oh, that's good to hear, Rob. Good to hear. You got your left eye on the stream without sound. Okay, I'll put on a little. If there's a trade idea, put the trade levels. Maybe coffee time. Yeah, maybe coffee time until 9 o'clock. Vessel's gotten now on the retest of the high in 5 minutes as a German. Let's go to that. We'll stay on this one. This is going to be the best one to look for. So I think we might even be pushing up. We've got in here. We've got two no wick candles and a doji. Two no wicks. No wick here and no wick here. So this zone could be raided first. And then we've got this little doji. So this look like steady candles down, but a bit of imbalance within these candles. So I think I might give it a go. If we push up, maybe one of these is going to be the high. Maybe we don't get this sweep. I kind of prefer if it doesn't do the sweep of that all-time high, because like breaking the all-time high probably will trigger algos for another push. So hopefully it can, like one of these can be the high. So if it similar kind of setup to this one, that if price can push up to one of these, form a little bearish candle, maybe as it's flipping, or have a candle close, break the low, then take it down for a sell. Let's see. Let's go to all chart view. The danger is that if this was the manipulation, if this is manipulation to push price down, and now we're breaking and closing above it, then this area becomes very dangerous as a support. Because if this was a resistance in European Open, this could be a support once we close above it. So I'd almost want to see it break down underneath here again. So I'd kind of like to see a fake out, potentially get like a late-ish entry, and that entry be, when a candle closes below it, be something like, probably try to keep my stop pretty tight, but I'll look for something like this. Something like that. That's what I'd look for. But I'd need to see, I want to see price of taking one of these, then closed down, rejected, closed below here, and then I've pushed back up. So actually I'll draw a second pathway. I'll fix it up. So more or less like this. That's the kind of second idea that I'm waiting for. Entry will be, of course, like that. Puts me a bit more upbeat on. Let's see if we can get like a little couple dojis here. A little accumulation. And then continue on its way. What's Euro doing? Is Euro's holding. French 40 is dropping slowly. Everything's pretty slow today.
All the indices have had their pullback.
All of them? US 30, US 500, Dow going down. Sarah, you're in buys for NAS, aren't you? Hey, Yeti, how are you?
Yeah, I'm in NAS buys, yeah.
You're in NAS buys.
And German sell.
Okay. Oh, you're in sales as well. Where'd you get in? Same level?
I got in yesterday, right at the top.
Oh, you're still holding that one?
Yeah.
Up here. Yeah, I did take a sell from up here. After I saw this when I was closing those the buy. I closed the buy way earlier, and that runner got close. Yeah, this big candle. This is the one. At this big candle, when it pushed up, fast moves the false move. I entered a sell. It got in the sell around 29, so around about here. And price pushed up, and I actually added a little bit more. Only small position. I was only targeting like about here. So, and then it just dropped over 100 pips. It dropped 150 pips. Couldn't believe it. I was only going for that little small just rejection from the all-time high. Good job for holding. These are the moves that I wish, like when you see these at these extreme levels, I feel these are so like low risk. Don't use a lot of risk, but these are so low risk. I'm not sure if it's the right thing to be doing because it's like no analysis really. It's just seeing that how sustainable is it at this area. I'm not waiting for price action, nothing. I'm not sure if it's a great idea, but just took it. What about everyone else that's in here? You guys in anything?
No, just waiting.
Someone put a request in. What do you mean, Eddie? What are you saying? That someone should put a chat? Get some more chat. Yeah, let's go. Need one half decent trade to get your 3%, and this is the last day, isn't it? Today, 29, 30, 31st, Monday. So today and Monday. Let's go. Come on. Had the pullback. Needs to break this candle. 15 minutes, starting to flip bearish. It's got wicks to fill. Don't want to see rejection here. Oh, month 103. Okay, come on. Keep on going. Feels like an age compared to yesterday. Yeah, those quick ones are addictive. I feel like that's the crack of trading. You get those ones early on in your trading career and you're hooked. They're dangerous as. But then you start to want that every time. But most days are like this. Not most days. This is. I feel like this is really slow with that with that GDP numbers. So I thought, with news, I thought it would be a bit more of a move, but I think there's only so much of a move you get every week. And then yesterday used a bit of today's volume. Plus it's Friday. That's why you like the breakout news trades, because it moves fast. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun when it's moving fast. I don't like the breakout though. That's not my flavor. But I know a lot of people like it. Kind of like yesterday. Yesterday was my favorite kind of trade, when it's a well calculated. Like this is the breakout trade where it moves pretty quick, and then you get the better move once the manipulation's over. Dow just took a dump. In that little few minutes, dropped like 20 pips. Now Germans following suit, taking its own little dump. Sounds awful. Like the fall of 165. Yeah, that was the real effect after power. Yeah, the move often comes the day after. I think that was to do multiple factors, not just what Powell said. Powell didn't say anything. Powell literally changed a few words of his speech. But that timing was coming out when the Bank of Japan economic report was in. European interest rates had been up, and the statement, and it was the culmination of all of this effect. Just price just shat itself. It's 6 p.m. UK time. Very late, after London close. Okay, we're at this level now. This is the one that we need to be careful of. This is the one that drew like that. Are you off, Glenn? All right, mate. You have a good weekend. Are you here tomorrow for the study session? Yeah, man, so slow. It's pushing. Come on. Another pip. All right, there we go. All right, 50 pips. We did it. Had to wait so long. All right, well, it wasn't convincing. I wasn't able to put a lot on it, but it was worth a shot. So price, bad GDP numbers helped the move. I was hoping it was going to do a bit more of a sweep up into these areas. We had the Asian high, which price rejected the first time, which was good. We had the open hour candle for this German open. So German started, this is the 7 o'clock candle, 7 a.m. UK time. So that candle looks something like this. It closed here. So this first, on the hour chart, this is what that German candle looks like. So we've got to anticipate the move now. So everything's bullish. We had such a huge run up, and I didn't like, this is not sustainable. We've got potential headwinds of them pausing, which is helping German stocks, but you've got to think about this logically, that high interest rates, reduced spending is going to affect earnings. Earnings going to it's going to affect everything. So all-time highs don't make sense in this market, but we can't. The market does what it wants. However, so we had all the fun yesterday where it went crazy up to these all-time highs. Reality sets in. Now the move is going to be to the downside, but we've got to accept that there's manipulation in the market. So whilst it made sense very early to be looking for sells, you don't take the first break. The first break is always a difficult one. So this one would have triggered sellers into the market, trapped them. Then it just like by a smidgen broke the high of this candle. So people thinking, oh shit, this is going to be an engulfing candle, because it wicked down, broke the low, and then was pushing up. And people, this triggers people in. This is like, yep, engulfing candle, instant buy. How many people do you know buy like this? And you would have been literally entered into the trade by the pip. Then look what happens. Pushes all the way down, leaves a long wick to the top. This is a red candle, by the way, not a green candle. And yeah, breakout traders lost selling, lost buying, having an actual planned trade. I was hoping that it was going to go and do like a proper sweep, but it didn't. Price opened on this candle, no top wick, and I would have really liked to have done a sweep and then started breaking the low. I really wanted to see that, but it didn't give it, so I couldn't go with full risk. But breaking that low made a lot of sense to go down, especially after just taking that top. So the idea of entering. If it had pushed up, I would have been willing to have given it like full risk would have been entered. If it had followed the plan a little bit better. I'm always, how many times have I said as well that don't go in full risk on your first position, because you can, like, perhaps the first one, especially if you got the idea but you're maybe a little bit unsure about if this is the actual, if you're unsure about the timing of the move, so maybe you can always give yourself options to add risk. So unfortunately it wasn't very much I could put onto this, because I wasn't sure if the timing was quite there, but it actually kept on moving down. Entry lined up perfectly. Like, you know, I drew this way before. The idea, the level made sense. This was all way before. Now, price come down from here. So that was the entry. Price came down 50 pips. There's a pretty slow move today. I'm looking for 100, but I've got to accept 50. Okay, so 50 is my goal, because I know that often in this open we can get, look at this, look at these pink sections. These pink sections. Pink sections, 110 pips. 70 pips, 137 pips, 128 pips, 58 pips, 93 pips, 95 pips, 153 pips, 193 pips. You tell me you can't expect to at least get a 50 pip move. You just got to get your direction right. Okay. So we know how much it moves. 50 pips is a absolute minimum on a shit day, and this was a fairly shit day, and it still gave us a good move. Thankfully, got in near the top, not at the top. Not at the top. The top was here. It was near the top. And I was expecting, like, if it is up here, is it going to go 70 pips straight up? Or is it going to, if it even goes up now and it could still do something like this. More likely is it going to probably push down to these areas before going up. All we needed was a catalyst. That catalyst that, whilst it was really slow here, price action came in, gave us our GDP numbers. They came in thankfully weak. And that finally gave us that little move. Wasn't part of the plan initially. Had to adapt because I was actually looked at Forex Factory, which didn't even show the news. So thankfully, Alan brought it up, found it, and other news sites. Was able to adapt the plan, expect the move at a certain time, take it, made profit. We're done for the day. Where would our profit target be if in from the top? Well, I use, like, I'm always taking partial at 50 pips anyway, because I don't expect to see these kind of moves every single day. So by the time it got up to here, when my runner got closed, that runner wasn't really worth that much. It'd be nice to be able to hold a full weight position. But I don't expect a whole lot. Like I do expect us to go and sweep some of this area before we go down. So 50 pips was where I closed pretty much most of it. Now I'll just see if the runner can actually get down. I am concerned about this level. This is the one that I was really concerned about. This zone here. So what we did was we actually took out the wick low, and that's why we're having this reaction now. So go back and have a look. Go back and have a look for sure. Why I was concerned about this one. Now, once we can close underneath this, maybe we can push down a little bit deeper, but I expect this will probably do a full correction now. Yeah, so that was my target. 50 pips for the Friday. Am I on for New York? No, I'm not. I've got an appointment at 3 o'clock. So yeah. Anyway, 3 p.m. Perth tomorrow. Correct. 9 a.m. 6 hours. Yeah, that's correct, Rob. Yep, 3 p.m. Perth time. Pound US is breaking above Asian height. Oh yeah, look at this. This is what we want. We want to break above here. We want to do something like this. And then this would be our entry. Something like that. Yeah, that's it. Good one. I'll put an alert for that one. I'll keep an eye on this one for later on. So you just did analysis. Might as well plan the trade. Cool. Alrighty. Well, we're done for the day. So appreciate you guys. YouTube watchers.
Awesome,
there's not many of you. Yeah, you're welcome, many. I'll catch you later. YouTube watchers, there's not many of you, but you can see the little Discord icon. It's free to join. The Zoom and all those sessions, study sessions, they're part of the other group. But there's plenty of free content that's in there and help. So if you guys are struggling, join. If you don't like it, leave. It's up to you. Okay, all right, guys. Well, thank you very much. I'll chat to you later.